Hello, everyone. Welcome to Learn English with Podcast. My name is Nikki.
And I'm Tony. Hi, listeners. We are so happy to have you with us today. We have a fun topic to talk about. Nikki, what's the topic for today?
Today, we're talking about weird dreams. Have you ever had a dream that was so strange you couldn't forget it?
Oh, yes. Weird dreams are the best. They can be funny, scary, or just plain strange. We will share our own weird dreams and talk to some guests about theirs.
That's right. So, Tony, do you have any weird dreams to share with us?
Absolutely. Let me think. Oh, I remember one time I dreamed I was flying with giant bananas. I was holding onto a banana like it was a hot air balloon. It was so strange because the bananas were talking to me, giving me advice about life. What about you, Nikki?
Wow. Flying with bananas. That's crazy. Well, I once dreamed that I was a superhero, but my superpower was making perfect pancakes. Every time I made a pancake, people cheered. It was so silly but fun. I think I ate too many pancakes that night before bed.
Haha, that's hilarious. Pancake power. Dreams can be so funny. Sometimes they don't make any sense at all. Do you ever wonder what they mean?
Yes. Sometimes. I read somewhere that dreams can be your brain's way of processing thoughts and feelings. But honestly, I think some dreams are just random and silly.
I agree. Some dreams feel like a wild adventure, but other times, they can feel very real and even a bit scary. Have you ever had a dream where you thought it was real?
Oh yes. Once I dreamed that I was late for an important meeting. I woke up in a panic, got dressed quickly, and then realized it was still the middle of the night. I felt so silly, but also relieved.
Dreams can be really powerful. They can make us laugh, cry, or even jump out of bed. And it's fun to share them with friends and laugh about how strange they can be.
Exactly. That's why today we're going to hear from some guests about their weird dreams. It's going to be fun and maybe a little strange. But first, let's explain a few things to our listeners.
Good idea. So, listeners, dreams are the stories and images our minds create while we sleep. Everyone dreams, but not everyone remembers their dreams. Weird dreams are those that are very unusual or strange.
Yes. And don't worry if you don't always remember your dreams. It's normal. Sometimes, if you think about your dream right after you wake up, you can remember more details.
And now we'll hear from some of our guests about their weird dreams. They will share their stories, and we'll ask them some questions and talk about their dreams. Ready, Nikki?
Ready. Let's get started. Let's welcome our first guest. Hello. Can you please tell us your name?
Hi, my name is Rose.
Hi, Rose. Nice to meet you. We are talking about weird dreams today. Do you have a strange dream to share with us?
Yes, I do. I had a dream where I was a fish, swimming in a huge aquarium. But the weird part was, all the other fish were people I know from work. They were wearing little suits and ties, and we had meetings underwater.
Wow, that's really strange. So, you were a fish and your coworkers were fish too?
Yes, exactly. We were all fish, but we could talk and do work things. It was so weird because we had to swim to different parts of the aquarium for our meetings.
Haha, that sounds so funny. Did anything strange happen in one of those meetings?
Oh, yes. In one meeting, my boss, who was a big goldfish, tried to eat the paperwork. We all had to swim around and catch the papers before they got wet.
That's hilarious. Did you feel scared or was it just funny?
At first, it was a little scary because I couldn't breathe. But then I remembered I was a fish, and it became funny. We even had an underwater coffee break.
That's a dream I would love to have. So, Rose, do you often have dreams about work?
Sometimes, yes, but not usually as a fish. Most of the time, they're not as strange as this one.
Do you think this dream means something, or was it just random?
I'm not sure. Maybe I was just thinking about work too much, or maybe it means I need a break.
That could be true. Sometimes our dreams tell us to relax. Thank you for sharing your weird dream with us, Rose. It was really fun to hear.
You're welcome. It was fun to share it.
Before you go, do you have any advice for our listeners who want to remember their dreams better?
Yes, keep a notebook by your bed. When you wake up, write down your dream right away. It helps you remember more details.
Great advice, Rose. Thanks again for joining us. Now, let's talk a bit more about Rose's dream. Nikki, what do you think?
I think it's really interesting how our minds mix everyday things with strange elements in dreams. Rose's dream about work and being a fish shows how creative our brains can be.
Absolutely. And it's funny how the mind can turn a regular workday into a silly underwater adventure. It makes you wonder what other crazy dreams people have.
Yes, and that's why we're here today, to explore these weird dreams and learn from them. Speaking of which, we have another guest coming up. Our next guest is here to share another weird dream. Hello, can you please tell us your name?
Hi, my name is Carlos.
Hi, Carlos. Nice to meet you. We're excited to hear about your weird dream. Can you tell us what happened in your dream?
Sure, in my dream I was walking through a jungle made of candy. The trees were made of lollipops, the grass was made of green jelly, and the river was flowing with chocolate.
Wow, a jungle made of candy sounds amazing. What did you do in the candy jungle?
I was trying to find a hidden treasure, but the treasure map was made of marshmallow. It was so hard to read because it kept getting sticky.
Haha, that's so funny. Did you find the treasure?
Yes, I did. The treasure was a giant cookie, but when I touched it, it turned into a cake and started to melt. I had to eat it quickly before it disappeared.
That sounds delicious and stressful at the same time. Did you eat the whole cake?
I tried, but it kept getting bigger and bigger. It was like a never-ending cake. I woke up before I could finish it.
A never-ending cake. That's a dream come true. Did you feel hungry when you woke up?
Yes, I was very hungry. I went straight to the kitchen and made myself a big breakfast.
I can imagine. Do you think this dream has a special meaning?
Maybe it means I have a sweet tooth. Or maybe it's just my brain having fun while I sleep.
That could be it. Sometimes dreams are just for fun. Do you often have dreams about food?
Sometimes. I love cooking and baking, so maybe that's why I dream about food a lot.
That makes sense. It's great that your passion for cooking shows up in your dreams. Do you have any advice for people who want to have more fun dreams?
Yes, try to relax before you go to sleep. Think about things you love, like hobbies or fun activities. It might help you dream about them.
Great advice, Carlos. Thanks for sharing your sweet dream with us. It was really fun to hear.
You're welcome. It was great to share it.
Before you go, Carlos, do you have a favorite dessert you'd like to recommend to our listeners?
Yes, I recommend trying a chocolate lava cake. It's delicious and fun to make.
Yum. That sounds amazing. Thanks again, Carlos. Now, let's talk a bit more about Carlos's dream. Nikki, what do you think?
I think it's wonderful how dreams can turn our favorite things into adventures. Carlos's Candy Jungle shows how our imaginations can create fantastic worlds.
Absolutely. It's fun to see how something as simple as a love for sweets can turn into a wild dream adventure. And it makes me want to eat some cake.
Me too. And it's a good reminder to enjoy the simple pleasures in life, like delicious food and fun dreams. Now, we have another guest here to share their weird dream. Hello, can you please tell us your name?
Hi, my name is Lily.
Hi, Lily. Nice to meet you. We're excited to hear about your weird dream. Can you tell us what happened in your dream?
Sure, in my dream, I was at a big fancy party. Everyone was dressed in old-fashioned clothes, like from the 18s. But the strange part was, all the people were animals. There were cats, dogs, and even elephants, all wearing beautiful dresses and suits.
Wow, that sounds like a very fancy party. What did you do at the party?
I was dancing with a fox. He was very polite and knew all the dance moves. Then we sat down to have dinner, and the waiter was a penguin who served us fish and chips.
Haha, a fox dance partner and a penguin waiter. That's incredible. Did anything else strange happen?
Yes, during dinner a band of monkeys started playing classical music. But instead of instruments, they were using bananas and coconuts. It sounded surprisingly good.
That's amazing. A monkey band with banana instruments. Did you feel happy in the dream?
Yes, I felt very happy and relaxed. It was such a fun and cheerful atmosphere. Everyone was smiling and having a good time.
That's wonderful. Do you often dream about animals?
Sometimes I love animals, and I volunteer at an animal shelter, so maybe that's why they show up in my dreams.
That makes sense. Do you think this dream has a special meaning?
I think it means that I enjoy being around animals and that they make me happy. Maybe it's also telling me to have more fun and enjoy life.
That's a great interpretation. Do you have any advice for our listeners who want to have happy dreams?
Yes, try to go to bed in a good mood. Think about things that make you happy before you sleep. It can help you have positive dreams.
Great advice, Lily. Thanks for sharing your fancy animal party dream with us. It was really fun to hear.
You're welcome. I enjoyed sharing it.
Before you go, Lily, do you have a favorite animal you'd like to tell our listeners about?
Yes, my favorite animal is the fox. They are smart, beautiful, and very playful.
That's a great choice. Thanks again, Lily. Now, let's talk a bit more about Lily's dream. Tony, what do you think?
I think it's wonderful how dreams can mix different elements of our lives, like Lily's love for animals and her interest in parties. It creates a unique and fun dream experience.
Absolutely. It's amazing how our minds can combine things we love into such creative dreams. And it's a good reminder to enjoy the things that make us happy.
Yes, and it's interesting to see how dreams can reflect our passions and hobbies.
That's right, Tony. Now, we have one more guest here to share their weird dream. Hello, can you please tell us your name?
Hi, my name is Max.
Hi, Max. Nice to meet you. We're excited to hear about your weird dream. Can you tell us what happened in your dream?
Sure. In my dream, I was in a huge library, but all the books were floating in the air. I was trying to catch a book to read, but they kept flying away from me.
A floating library. That sounds like quite an adventure. Did you manage to catch any of the books?
Yes. I finally caught one, but when I opened it, the pages were blank. Then, the words started appearing on the pages as I thought about different stories. It was like the book could read my mind.
Wow, that's amazing. A book that reads your mind. What kind of stories did you think about?
I thought about a detective story first, and the book showed a mystery with clues and suspects. Then, I thought about a pirate adventure, and the book changed to show a treasure map and a ship on the ocean.
That sounds so cool. Did you get to finish reading any of the stories?
Not really. Every time I got into a story, the book would close and start flying around again. It was a bit frustrating but also exciting.
I can imagine. Did you feel any emotions during this dream?
Yes, I felt curious and a little bit frustrated because I wanted to finish the stories. But I also felt amazed by how the library worked. It was like being in a magical place.
That does sound magical. Do you often dream about books or libraries?
Sometimes. I love reading, and I work in a bookstore, so maybe that's why books appear in my dreams.
That makes sense. Do you think this dream has a special meaning?
I think it means I have a lot of ideas and stories in my mind, and maybe I need to find a way to share them. It could also mean that I should be more patient when looking for answers or ideas.
That's a great interpretation. Do you have any advice for our listeners who want to have more creative dreams?
Yes, read a lot before bed. It can fill your mind with ideas and stories which might show up in your dreams.
Great advice, Max. Thanks for sharing your floating library dream with us. It was really interesting to hear.
You're welcome. I enjoyed sharing it.
Before you go, Max, do you have a favorite book you'd like to recommend to our listeners?
Yes, I recommend The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. It's a great collection of detective stories.
That's a classic choice. Thanks again, Max. Now, let's talk a bit more about Max's dream. Nikki, what do you think?
I think it's amazing how our dreams can turn everyday places, like a library, into magical adventures. Max's dream shows how our love for books and stories can create exciting dream experiences.
Absolutely. It's fascinating to see how our passions and interests can shape our dreams. And it's a reminder to keep exploring our creativity.
Yes, And it's interesting to see how dreams can reflect our thoughts and feelings in such imaginative ways. We've had some amazing weird dreams shared today.
We sure have, and we've had a fantastic time hearing about all these weird dreams.
Now, it's time to wrap up and talk about some new words we learned today.
That's right, Nikki. We heard some really interesting dreams and we also came across some words that might be new to our listeners. Let's go through them one by one.
Okay, the first word is opulent. Opulent means something that is luxurious or lavish. Lily's dream described an opulent party with animals in sophisticated attire.
Yes. And the second word is jungle. A jungle is a large area of land covered with trees and plants, often found in tropical regions. In Carlos's dream, he was in a jungle made of candy.
The third word is philanthropy. Philanthropy is the desire to promote the welfare of others, often through generous donations or actions. Lily mentioned she volunteers at an animal shelter, engaging in acts of philanthropy by dedicating her time to helping animals in need.
Our fourth word is shelter. A shelter is a place that gives protection from bad weather or danger. Lily mentioned she volunteers at an animal shelter, a place where animals are cared for.
The fifth word is detective. A detective is someone whose job is to find out what has happened in a crime or solve mysteries. Max mentioned a detective story that appeared in his magical book.
The sixth word is volunteer. To volunteer means to offer to do something without being paid. Lily said she volunteers at an animal shelter, meaning she helps out for free.
The seventh word is adventure. An adventure is an exciting or dangerous experience. In Max's dream, he thought about a pirate adventure, and the book showed a treasure map and a ship.
And finally, the eighth word is frustrating. If something is frustrating, it makes you feel annoyed or upset because you cannot do what you want to do. Max felt frustrated because he couldn't finish reading the stories in his dream.
Let's repeat the words once more. Opulent, jungle, philanthropy, shelter, detective, volunteer, adventure, and frustrating.
Great job, everyone. We hope these words are helpful for you. Try to use them in your conversations or writing. It's a fun way to practice and remember them.
Yes. And we want to thank our guests, Rose, Carlos, Lily, and Max, for sharing their weird dreams with us. It was really fun and interesting to hear about their adventures.
Absolutely. And remember, listeners, your dreams can be a great way to learn new things and explore your imagination. Keep dreaming and keep learning.
That's all for today's episode of Learn English with Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Don't forget to subscribe and join us next time for more fun topics and learning.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great day and sweet dreams.
Bye.
Bye.